Clemson needs Wake Forest to lose one game. They obviously need to beat them head-to-head. They need NC State to lose. They need NC State to lose twice still.
Well, if they all finish in a three-way tie, then there'll be a three-way tiebreaker, and
okay,
that might bode well for Clemson. But if it just ended up being Clemson and North Carolina State, then yeah, they'd need North Carolina State to drop two more.
Okay, so there's still hope. Wake Forest has its 4 toughest games of the season, starting at North Carolina this weekend, and NC State's got a date in Tallahassee, so Clemson suddenly becomes Florida State fans this weekend because NC State's down there in Tallahassee, and Clemson's got a date with Louisville.
Yeah, just another note to that. One thing to keep in mind about that Wake Forest North Carolina game, that's a non-conference game, so
that's right.
It won't even factor into this, so they'll need somebody else. Somebody else needs to beat Wake other than North Carolina.
That is right. I forgot about that. They scheduled that a few years ago. They've done it already once. Now they're doing it for a second time, and I think it's a good idea, actually. If you got no good non-conference games, you can have a nice regional game there, but I had forgotten about that. Yes, that's a non-conference game, so Wake scoots by another week with an undefeated record in the ACC regardless. Wow. This Wake story, I'm on the bandwagon, Jason.
Oh yeah, that's a scrappy Wake Forest team. I'm not sold on that defense. I mean they give up tons and tons of yards and points. They just outscore you. But that's going to be an interesting matchup in a couple of weeks in Clemson, no doubt about it. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I kind of see what. I haven't really gotten to watch a lot of Wake Forest this year, to be honest, because I'm gone so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing them up close and personal.
Oh, they can throw it around the yard. There's no doubt about that. Sam Hartman knows what he's doing, and he's got a lot of talent. I think he's running that Kenny Pickett journey where he's gone from kind of non-existent to NFL prospect all of a sudden. Do you have any concerns about Louisville? I guess the one concern would be when Clemson can barely score 20 points a week, you're always going to have a concern against anybody.
Yeah, I kind of look at Louisville the same way I did Florida State, but with a more dynamic offense. They got Malik Cunningham's developing into a decent quarterback. He can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arm. Unlike Jordan Travis, who I didn't think could beat Clemson with his arm, I think Malik Cunningham can beat you either way. So you kind of got to pick your poison. They got a really good tight end. They've got some good receivers. So, I mean, this Clemson defense is going to have to bring it again. And Clemson's, their worst games have come on the road. And Dabo Swinney was talking about it this morning. He needs for this offense to go out on the road and take advantage of the opportunities they do get. Like they didn't do against Pitt. They had opportunities to go up 14, 17 to nothing, maybe even 21 to nothing in that first quarter. They dropped 2 touchdown passes, then had a bad play call, end up only getting 7 points. And, it's just been one thing after another. And that's something he's looking for out of this offense. He wants them to take advantage of the opportunities that they do get because we all know that this offense isn't very good right now and they're only getting minimal opportunities. So the ones you get, you got to take advantage of.
Yeah, this Louisville team's not anything spectacular by any stretch at 4-4, but at the same time, they took Wake Forest to the last play of the game. They also, this past weekend, they took Virginia to the last play of the game. They also, this past weekend, were in a 14-13 game with NC State with about halfway through the fourth quarter before they gave up a couple touchdowns and lost the game. So it's another week in the ACC where who knows who's going to beat who, because I think you can throw just about everybody all together. You don't know who's going to come out on top.
That's what I was going to say. A typical ACC team at this point in time.
I think the whole conference is going to go 6-6.